Tactical Marines, the classic flavour of Space Marine. I think it's about time we reviewed these timeless models, don't you think? Well, in this case, we'll be reviewing them with just a little twist. Do stick around, you won't want to miss this. Hey there folks, I'm Lynn, and welcome to this review of a Tactical Space Marine miniature. These fun and funky little models are possibly the most famous thing Games Workshop has ever made, so let's dive right in. Now, as you can see, these aren't your normal Space Marines. Neither that colour scheme nor that head seems to fit with the model, and that's because, as you may have guessed, these are a conversion. A Rebel Grot Space Marine. More specifically, this Space Marine is a Marine in armour only. A looted shell filled to the brim with Gretchen, who move as one to propel the armour forwards. How exciting! The conversion process was rather easy, with just a bit of green stuff, or none at all in some cases. You can fill up the cavity in the back of the Grot's heads and then just stick them onto the Marine bodies. They fit great. The paint job isn't half bad either. Roughly painted over Ultramarines colours, the armour was in fact looted from an unknown Space Marine chapter, as in the entire chapter was looted of his war gear. Sneaky gits. Now of course, these models still count as Space Marines. The classic tactical marine body is still a marvel to look at, an amazing mix of armour marks, weapon options, and general customizability. They're posable, picturesque little pieces of plastic. Onto the rules however. This classic marine has a stat line you'd expect from such a miniature: 6 inches movement, 4 strength and toughness, 3+ ballistic and weapon skill, 1 wound, 1 attack, and a 3+ save. Pretty classic honestly. The weapon options however are truly staggering. Bolters, grav guns, combi weapons, heavy weapons, missile launchers, lightning claws, plasma guns, thunder hammers, the list could literally go on. So suffice to say, there are a lot of options. Far too many to cover succinctly. Don't worry though, I've got something else prepared instead. That's right, lore. So hold on for that if you will. Continuing on, these tactical marines have an array of abilities, mainly consisting of Angels of Death, the compound room that all Astartes seem to possess. Along with this, they also gain combat squads, allowing you to split a unit of 10 into 2 units of 5. I'm not super sure why you do this, it doesn't seem to save any points, but I'm sure there's a reason I'm not quite seeing. Now then, on to the lore. To help me with this, I've invited an expert in the lore of the Rebel Grot, a connoisseur of Gretchen kind. Wib, say hello.
Hello! Wait, why don't I get an avatar?
You either bring your own or appear at least 3 times. Rules are rules. Now then, I believe you have some lore to share on the Rebel Grots?
So let's start from the beginning. The Rebel Grot faction originated in the Gorkamorka supplement Digger Knob, alongside the Digger faction, a race of orky humans who had gone just a little bit mad, and the Muties, mutated humans who also inhabited the planet once known as Angelus. Moving on to the real meat, however, the Rebel Grots originated within the settlement of Mechtown, on the planet of Gorkamorka, also known as Angelus. The remnants of a crashed space hulk, Mechtown came to be the host of a massive orc shipbuilding project, to rejoin with the great Wa they had been separated from. The mechs of Mechtown decreed that anyone with a tag could board the ship and join the Wa across the stars, unless, of course, you were a Gretchen. Unable to gain tags and having slaved away under the oppressive boot of the mechs, the Grots rose up in anger at the unfairness of the system, protesting, going on strike, and eventually erupting into violent combat against their former orc masters. Though driven back eventually by superior orc firepower and strength, the spirit of the revolution burned bright within the hearts of the Grots that survived. They made their way to Skid Row, a settlement hundreds of kilometers away from Mechtown, many dying along the way, but eventually, once there, Da Committee and Da Old Guard were established, along with many a plan for revolution and the eventual downfall of the mechs. Over time, the revolution grew from small roots to an aggressive and dangerous power, led by the mighty Red Gobbo, or Red Gobbos technically, as well as Da Gretchen Revolutionary Committee. They performed such acts as smuggling Grots out of Mechtown, acting out raids on returning orcs, and other such nefarious deeds. The Grot Rebellion was surely underway.
For my homebrew, these Grots were inspired by the actions of those upon Gorkamorka. The words of Da Committee spreading as they did for many a Rebel Grot faction. They seek freedom, and by goodness are they going to get it one way or another. Thanks for watching folks, and thank you Wib for lending your voice to this endeavour.
Thank you very much for having me. It is always a delight to talk about my tiny goblin children.
That's all for now. Do subscribe if you feel like it really helps me out. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.